He left me for my best friend. If someone had asked me who I trusted most in the world, I would have answered without hesitation. My husband and my best friend. I never imagined they would be the two people who would destroy my life together. My name is Emma Wilson, and for 10 years I believed I had the perfect family. I met Ethan when I was 24. He was funny, kind, and made me feel like I was the only woman in the world. We dated for 2 years before getting married in a small ceremony surrounded by our families and closest friends. Standing beside me that day was Sophie. She had been my best friend since college. We shared everything, our dreams, our fears, and every important moment of our lives. She was more like a sister than a friend. When Ethan and I had our first child, Sophie was the first person to visit us at the hospital. When our second child was born 3 years later, she brought meals to our house and helped me take care of the baby. I thanked God for giving me such an amazing husband and such a loyal best friend. I had no idea they were slowly becoming closer to each other. After my second pregnancy, my life changed. Barely slept. My body wasn't the same anymore. I had gained weight and stretch marks covered my stomach. Most days, I wore comfortable clothes with my hair tied back because taking care of 2 young children left me exhausted. Meanwhile, Sophie seemed to have everything together. She was beautiful, confident, and always perfectly dressed. Whenever she visited our house, Ethan would joke with her, and I loved seeing them get along. I never felt jealous. Why would I? She was my best friend. Months passed, and little things began to change. Ethan suddenly started going to the gym. He bought new clothes, expensive cologne, and became protective of his phone. Whenever I walked into the room, he would quickly lock the screen. I asked him about it once. He smiled. Work emails. Nothing exciting. I believed him. Around the same time, Sophie became strangely busy. She canceled our girls' nights, saying work kept her occupied. Whenever I invited her over, she always had an excuse. Still, I never questioned it. Trust makes you blind. One Saturday afternoon, I asked Ethan if he wanted to take the kids to the park. He looked uncomfortable. I promised my boss I'd help with something. He left the house looking unusually well-dressed for a work meeting. That evening, while putting away laundry, I noticed he had forgotten his smartwatch on the dresser. A message appeared on the screen. I can't wait to see you again. Love you. S. My heart stopped. I stared at the message for several seconds, convincing myself it had to mean someone else. Maybe another Sophie. Maybe a coworker. Maybe anything except my best friend. That night I couldn't sleep. For the first time in our marriage, doubt entered my heart. Instead of confronting them, I quietly searched for the truth. A few days later, Ethan forgot to sign out of our shared laptop. I opened the browser. There they were. Hundreds of messages, photos, hotel reservations, plans for weekends together. Messages saying they wished they didn't have to hide anymore. The affair had been going on for almost a year. Every time Ethan said he was working late, he was with Sophie. Every girls' night Sophie canceled. She was spending time with my husband. I cried until sunrise. Not because I had lost my husband, but because I had lost the 2 people I loved most. For the next week, I pretended everything was normal. I smiled at breakfast, packed Ethan's lunch, helped my children with homework. Inside I was falling apart. Then I made a decision. If they wanted honesty now, I would give it to them. The following Friday, I invited Sophie over for dinner. She happily agreed. Ethan looked nervous when I told him. The 3 of us sat around the dining table just like we had done dozens of times before. We laughed. We ate. Then I stood up without saying a word. I walked into the living room and returned with a large envelope. I emptied its contents onto the table. Printed messages, hotel receipts, photographs, screenshots. Neither of them spoke. Sophie's face turned pale. Ethan lowered his head. The silence felt endless. Finally, Sophie whispered, "I'm sorry." I looked at her. "You were my sister." Tears streamed down her face. "I never meant for this to happen." I turned to Ethan. What about you? He closed his eyes before speaking. I love Sophie. Those 4 words shattered everything I had left. My voice trembled. What was my fault? You were never a bad wife, he replied quietly. Then why? He hesitated before answering. You changed after the kids. The room became silent again. He continued. You're an incredible mother, Emma. But I don't feel the same attraction anymore. Sophie makes me feel alive again. His words hurt more than the affair itself. I looked down at my hands. The hands that had held our babies. The body that had carried our children. The sleepless nights. The sacrifices. Everything I had done for our family had become the reason he no longer wanted me. Sophie reached for my hand. Pulled it away. Don't. A month later we finalized our divorce. Ethan moved into Sophie's apartment. Not only had I lost my husband, I had also lost my best friend. The hardest part wasn't signing the divorce papers. It was explaining to my children why Daddy no longer lived at home. They cried every night for weeks. So did I. For months I blamed myself. I hated my reflection. I wondered if losing weight or dressing differently would have changed anything. Then one afternoon my mother sat beside me while the kids played outside. She gently took my hand and said, Your body tells the story of bringing 2 beautiful children into this world. Anyone who can't see its beauty doesn't deserve your love. I broke down crying. Those words slowly helped me heal. I started exercising, not to win Ethan back but to feel strong again. I spent more time with my children. I traveled. I found joy in small moments that had nothing to do with my past. A year later, I no longer cried when I heard Ethan's name. One day, I looked in the mirror and finally smiled. Not because I had become someone new, but because I had remembered who I was before I allowed someone else's opinion to define my worth. Losing my husband was painful. Losing my best friend was heartbreaking. But losing myself would have been the greatest tragedy of all. If this story touched your heart or reminded you that your worth should never depend on someone else's choices, don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to KS True Stories for more powerful, emotional stories inspired by real-life experiences. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.